Purnamaste. Purnamaste. Welcome to the art of the word that I am from the heart. You know what? I want to tell you something. You are the best that you can be. You can never be better than you are now. I mean, next moment only. But the only thing that exists now is now. This moment now. And you are the best that you can be now. The next moment doesn't exist. Future that you should be better is in the mind, in time. But the only reality is the moment now. And everyone, you and me, regardless what we are going through, regardless if we do some terrible things to others even, and to ourselves, regardless if we are in the darkness, on the light, we are the best that we can be. And we can only be better next moment. Whatever we are doing, we are learning the best, even if we are in the most terrible darkness, even if we are sick, even if we doing really terrible stuff like some people on earth today doing, even they are the best that they can be. In that darkness, learning the best. To learn the best, they realize that they have to stop that, to master the best, to stop that, and to come out of that darkness, to come on the next level. And we have to be in that darkness to learn what the darkness is, so we can rise out. So it is the best for us. We are doing the best, being the best this moment now, even if entire earth, everyone is judging us as bad, and our mind blaming us as bad. But in the true reality of things, you are the best that you can be. I mean, even people that kill somebody, they're learning the best. In that darkness that they did, and the sentence that is to follow, they are to learn the best, master the best. They will never harm another human being. And it's the best for us, for them. And the one that got murdered, they just wanted to leave this world. It was time for their soul to go. So yes, we may condemn people that do bad. We may judge them. But from the source perspective point, they are the best that they can be. Even if they do worse, they're doing the best to master the best, to learn the best. We cannot be better because only this moment exists, and everyone is in their level of consciousness when they have to be, in the darkness, in the light, in whatever the dimension. And when they master that, where they are learning in, they can rise to higher consciousness. Not before. So from the source perspective, from the source perspective, you are the source. In separation from yourself, in your ego blaming you for who you are, going against you, afraid, worried, forcing, resisting, controlling. Our ego is blaming us that we are never good enough, whatever we do. And ego of others is blaming us that we are never good enough, whatever we do. But from the source perspective, this moment you are the best that you can be, learning the best, experiencing the best, and you are glorified just for your being, glorified for the presence of your magnificence in this game of separation from self. Covered in the false self, separated from yourself in the mind and ego. From the source perspective, you are the source in separation from yourself in this game of separation and opposition to self. The other is self in yourself. And just for that mere presence of your divine magnificence in this world, you are glorified. Yes, Bill Gates also. Yes, George Soros also. Yes, Rothschilds also. Yes, Lil Nas X also. Levine also. Even Adolf Hitler and all the politicians. And we can never comprehend this because our ego is blaming us that we are never good enough what we do, and blaming others that they are never good enough. But from the source perspective, ego is separation from self, and we are in ego, and we are glorified just for the presence of our divine magnificence in this game of separation from ourselves. And wherever we are on our level of consciousness, on whatever stage of consciousness we are exactly where we have to be, doing the best, learning the best, being the best, to master better, which we can do only next moment. So when you are trying to take your relatives, your close ones, pull them out of the darkness, that they should rise. Source is knowing that they are being the best, doing the best, learning the best, mastering the best. And in your own darkness, we had to master that darkness to come out of it, no? Opposition, control, attachments, resistance, blaming. And until we learned and mastered it, we didn't rise. And Source knows that they are exactly where they have to be, learning the best. But we want to pull them to on our level, on the light. We are acting, we are higher than God, but we are God, we are not higher than God. Source knows they are the best that they can be, learning the best that they can learn, and they will come out of it at the best time when they master it. But we want to control, we want to force them to rise. We don't respect free will and the game that they have to master that level of consciousness. They are exactly where they have to be, but we want to control and resist. What happens is that they pull us down to the darkness. We can never pull them up because they have to be where they have to be in the sense of free will, and they're learning the best. But we are violating their free will. We don't respect their free will and the fact that they have to be where they have to be and the best for them. And we want to pull them up. If we blame them and judge them, they always pull us down because we don't respect their free will. And from Source perspective, they are exactly where they have to be. We are acting higher than Source. They have the rise. They didn't master that level. So they pull us down into that level that they are in. Like in a video computer game, you cannot rise to the next level of the game when you don't master, accomplish, finish the lower level of the game. You see. That's how it is. That's how it is. So, what can we do? We are the source. The source is glorifying us as itself in for the divine magnificence of your divine being, the presence of your divine magnificence in this game of separation and opposition to self, which everyone is. So why is our ego blaming us? Who is blaming us that we are never good enough? We are never good enough, we have to be better, but we can, and then blaming others that they are never good enough, they have to be better. It's our ego blaming us for who we are now, for what we're going through, to what we're doing. Always telling us that we are never good enough. You know, where does it come from? Children, little children never apologize, never tell they are not good enough. They never lament, I'm not good enough, I'm not doing enough. If your parents tell you that you're never good enough, like you want to play with a dog on the field, they tell you have to go out inside and do what I say, you're a bad boy. You're a good boy only if you stop doing what feels so right to you in this moment. That means stop being yourself and you do what I command you, what is right. Then you are good enough. So our parents blamed us and teachers that who we are, how we feel now, and what feels the best for us is not good enough, is bad. And told us that only what they say, what they command us to do and be, is good enough. Blaming us for who we are in a moment now. Telling us, commanding us that we are good enough only if we do what they say. So then out of that program, if your parents told you never doing good enough, then whatever you do in your life, it's never enough. You're never good enough. You can do more than most of human beings in this world, but still your parents are screaming at you, you don't do enough, you should do more, you don't do enough. And that's why you always feel that whatever regardless you do, you never do enough. And when you wanna, and whatever you're doing in this moment now, whatever you're going through, whatever, you're the best that you can be, but your ego blaming you that you're bad. For your parents were always blaming you that you're bad. And when you did a mistake, when you shit yourself in your pants, when you pissed yourself in your pants, when you got dirty and you were playing in a field in greatest joy, you're a bad boy, you're destroying your life. Always telling you that you are not good enough as you now are, and whatever you're doing is bad. So then your entire life, the ego is actually program created by parents telling us that that we never do enough. But ego is a program telling us what it is telling us, that we are never good enough. Because it's still that parents blaming us for what we're going through, for who we are, for what we feel. Still program that blaming us that we are not good enough, that we are bad. So it's a program programmed by parents, by society, by teachers, blaming us for who we are. Our good old ego created by our parents, teachers. But don't blame them. Ego blames you that you're never good enough. Now ego would blame them that they are not good enough. No, don't do that, please. They were programmed by their parents in a worst separation from self. Their parents commanded them more, chastised them more, and they were programmed by their parents in a worst ego. And they were programmed by their parents in the worst ego, and they were programmed by their parents by the worst ego. So can we blame the snake that given the apple to the? You will blame the Eve, huh? But there's a snake given the Eve the apple. So will you blame the Eve, or you blame the snake, or the apple, or the snake that doesn't exist? That's the ego snake blaming you for who you are, making you go against yourself. No, we cannot blame anyone. That's how it is. We have to forgive our parents. We have to love ourselves. We have to realize we are not our ego blaming us for who we are. We are never good enough, and we are always good enough. You know, I'm the best that I can be, doing the best, learning the best, mastering the best, to heal myself, to be better next moment, to heal people like Jesus Christ was healing. I had to heal myself first. Do I make a bargain with the universe as I heal myself, as long as it takes. Keep me going, keep me standing. And I'm to heal others as I heal myself. So I'm learning the best, experiencing the best, mastering the best, to learn the best, to master the best, to be the best, and then to do the best. And now I'm doing the best. The next moment, I can do better only. So your ego will blame you that you are never good enough. Others will blame you that you are never good enough, their ego. But Source is seeing you and them and the worst criminals in this world as the best that they can be, doing the best, learning the best, to master the best, whatever the darkness they are in, you know, it's the best. It's the best. You cannot be better. You'll be better only next moment. You are glorified for the magnificence of your divinity, for just the mere presence of your divine magnificence in this game of separation from yourself and your ego blaming you for who you are. In the game of separation and opposition to self, you're glorified by the source that I am. Because you are the source that I am. You are not your ego blaming you for who you are. Source experiencing yourself in separation and opposition to self. In this game of separation and opposition to self. In this star game. Just listen, you are glorified for being here. For you are the source. And many divine beings do not dare to come in this game. But we are here. We may do terrible things to others. We may do terrible things to ourselves. We blame ourselves that we are never good enough. Others blame us that we are never good enough. In our ego, we may blame others. It's ego blaming us for who we are. But Source is glorifying all of us, even the worst criminals, even those that harm themselves most or harm others, even the cabal and everyone, glorifying for their divine presence in this game of separation from self. You know, we see this. It's the best and we are the best. We may be in the worst darkness, suffering most, or inflicting suffering to others. As we rise out of it, we see that it was the best for the best, and we needed the darkness to master the greater light. It was the best for us. And everybody said, without of this darkest night, I would not rise to this brightest light. I would not resent others, blame others. I would not get free of that resentfulness and blame and forgive them. And then teach others to forgive and not resent and not blame themselves and others. Like Dr. Joe, if he would not be hit by a truck and his spine pulverized, he would not heal the spine and arise as greatest healer in the world today to heal others. He says it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I would not be here now doing what I'm doing, healing others. Everyone says that. But in that darkness, we blame ourselves, others may blame us. But Source is glorifying us for just mere divine presence of our divine magnificence in this game of separation and opposition from self, telling us that we are the best that we can be, learning the best, mastering the best. This moment now for the next moment doesn't exist. We are not our ego blaming us that we are never good enough. That's the program. I give you my word. I'm the best that I can be, regardless what you think. And you are the best that you can be, regardless what you think. If your ego is blaming you for who you are, for where you are, for what you do, for what you did, you are not your ego. I don't blame you. If you blame me, your ego blaming you and blaming me. Blaming me for it blames you. When I tell you you are the source, glorified just for magnificence of your divine presence in this game of separation and opposition from self, and you are learning the best, doing the best, master the best, so you can rise better. Only next moment, this moment now, only exists, and everyone is the best that they can be. No one is their ego blaming them and others that they are not good enough. That's the program. I give you my word, I'm the best that I can be, doing the best. I give you my word. And now I have to work on myself. Maybe more than I did last week's. So I can be better next moment. And I give you my word. And I'm open to donations, to support. And everyone is the best that they can be. And where that I am free. But you know, I'm so grateful for everyone who ever offers me a donation. They do it from the heart. No one forcing them. No one pushing them. You should not give out of guilt. That's not love. That's bad karma. We should give out of joy of giving. And that's love I accept. And I'm so grateful. You keep the word and I'm going, literally. I cannot play the flute, still not. And I'm so grateful. for you still seeing me the best that I can be. I'm so grateful if you offer a donation, you keep the art of the word, and I'm going, you not don't have to. And I'm so grateful like a little child. If there's any blessing in my heart, and it all go to you. You're the best that you can be. Everyone. But I'm the best that I can be, not doing messenger, not dealing with comments, not guiding you personally. This is not, it doesn't feel right to me. I don't blame myself, and I'm not good enough to be like others, do what others do. No, I'm the best that I can be, giving you the word that I am. You're the best that you can be. The answer is within you. And I'm so grateful for every single donation. The tear comes, tear rolls down my eyes. Thank you. Thank you. My computer broke down. My friend, best friend, brother, he brought a backup computer and he took my computer with him. He brought all the things. So grateful for everything I receive. Thank you. And I give you my word. And for every single donation, if you offer to give a donation in PayPal, my heart is open as that donation box. And I'm just so grateful. But you receive the answer within. You support this class. Thank you from the heart. And I give you my word, you know. I give you my word. That's all I do. But I'm so grateful. I want to do something from the heart for you. Not something that you force and resist. Not something that I would do out of guilt, that I'm not good enough, and I would chat like others do what others do. No, I want to give you something from the heart. My best energy I want to give you. So for every single donation, I connect with your being beyond time and space, and I do white light source quantum healing on you. Because I'm grateful for your energy you've given me, and I want to give you my best energy. It's beyond time and space. You don't need appointment. You just have my word that I do it, and I always do. If I forget, I do next day. I will always do as I give you my word that I do. But don't count on me healing you. I have to heal myself. I just want to give you the best energy that I have, which sometimes works better on others than on myself, because others I don't control. I'm not afraid for them. I don't suffer their suffering. You have my word that I do it. And my healing works on me as much as I work on myself. So healing I do on others work as much as they work on themselves. And I have to focus on you being free of all affliction, so don't tell me anything about it. I'm not that kind of healer, medical expert. I'm not teaching healing. I just want to do energy work on you, and I'm sincere and truthful. I have seen many miracles before my conditions on others. I've seen when I did healing, miracles happened. But it was their fate that healed them. My healing worked on them as much as they work on themselves. Because sometimes we have trouble healing ourselves, and healing on others don't work anything. But on some miracles happen, so they heal themselves. You know? I have to focus on you being free of all afflictions. In this way I do best healing on you. I cannot heal you. My healing works on you as much as you work on yourself. As much as my healing works on me, as much as I work on myself. But I can do the best that I can. If we are always blaming us that we are never good enough, then we should be better. We never heal. But if I know that I'm the best that I can be, doing the best, going through the best, to master the best, to learn the best, then everything can heal. get free of the ego blaming me for who I am, and I can rise out of that darkest night as the brightest light, brightest master, healing others as I heal myself. You see. So, I cannot heal you, but I just want to give you my best energy and my source energy, very sweet. It is a gift, nothing you buy. I'm not a healer that you give me donation to receive a healing. No, no, no. You offer a donation for this teaching because this is teaching that I am really. In this video, what I spoke, I mastered. I always say on the if I mastered or not. You see. Just so grateful. I cannot heal you, but I want to give you my best energy. Gift of love for your gift of love, for every gift of love I receive. Thank you from the heart. I give you my word. And if your ego blaming you that you should give me a donation, that's ego blaming you that you are not good enough. I receive only joy that is given from the heart. And I'm so grateful. Thank you from the heart, really. Everyone, you are the best that you can be. Doing the best, learning the best, to master the best. Even in the worst darkness, when your ego blaming you that you are the worst and others blame you that you are worst, even if you're locked up, even if I don't know what happened, what you did to others, the most terrible thing. Source is glorifying you as the best just for the presence of your divine magnificence in this game of separation and opposition from self. And ego blaming you for who you are, blaming the source. You are the best that you can be, learning the best, mastering the best, just like me. To master the better, to rise to greatest light. But this can happen. We can be better only next moment. We are the best that we can be now. I give you my word. Purnamaste and thank you.